Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have an interesting video here. This time I'm working on a 2006 E90. It's a 3 Series with an N52 engine. It really doesn't matter for what we're doing. As you can see, I'm in the back right rear of the car. Customer concern is an ABS light on. We're doing wire integrity tests for these ABS sensors. These ABS sensors are digital. They have the possibility to show even um, not just the speed, that will show the tire rotation direction. So that will tell you if they're going in reverse or if they're going forward. So these are very, very special sensors. So you can see the sensors are brand new. The wheel is not reading. We already know that we have a bad wheel bearing. So, but the reason of the video is I want to show you how to test these sensor and also uh, see which oscilloscope can actually read the data. And I'm going to show you, this is the reason I'm having this. I have a snap-on waiting for that. I'm using the snap-on Zeus, and I'm going to show you in a minute that. I also have the 8-channel oscilloscope from ATS. Sorry, it has a cover in here, but I was having it like that attached to other things. So, but I'm now using a USB connected to my computer. So again, I'm starting with Pico, using Pico 7, the Pico 4425. I don't have the 425A yet. It's coming. So I'm going to put you in the tripod like that. You guys keep so you can see me and see what I'm going to do, because this is very. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me show you the settings on the scope. Let me go back to there because let me set this tripod where I'm going to need it, and then let me show you what I got here. So this is a very fast signal. As you can see, I got 500 microseconds in order to see that signal. This is right now just doing the diagnostic test, which is good. So you have on this sensor is a 2-wire. For this car, we are having a yellow with a black and a brown. Sorry, a yellow with a brown. Reading information, and ISTA doesn't tell you which one is which. I mean, it tells you voltage and signal, but it's they're saying that the signal is actually the yellow with the brown, and that is not correct. And so is a snap-on. But again, I'll show you that in a second. So going back into the waveform, the reason I can see it, you're going to say, well, you only have 1 volt. It's because I have it AC coupling. If I put this into DC, you will still be able to see that, but again, it will be a very small signal. Oh, I should have not done that. Well, let me just move it like this. As you can see, we are on the same speed, and since we got that in there, we you don't see anything, right? So you will be like, oh, there is nothing on that signal. There is no, it's just a 12 volt. Well, as you saw before, it's not. So if I go again, let me go over to AC coupling, and now I go back down to, let me actually move the, um, let me, before I do that, let me move the um, trigger to a normal point. You can do it in here, but I'd rather always do it like this. So I got the battery maintainer connected to the vehicle, so I will not drain the battery. I don't know why it's putting that hand. All right, so we are in there. Now we need to drop the voltage to a good voltage. As you can see, the signal is indeed in there. So let's move this now again into there. And I gotta change this size because I make it too big. So if we put them in here, now we got the signal. So I want to go over to like maybe even half a volt so we can see that, right? So it will be half positive and half negative. Even 1 volt, because when I'm going to do the test, you will see why I need to go a little bigger. So that's again the diagnosis trying to, do some tests. So the test that I can do on this sensor with the sensor remove, again, the sensor is right here. I'm going to use just a magnet and I'm going to rub it in here. If I would have the scanner connected, you will see it goes in reverse and forward. So, but it is a valid test. So you see it right there. And right there, you can see how the signal is changing. Again, I'm just rubbing the magnet into that sensor and that's it. So let me stop this because this is a very fast signal. See if we got able to have it when it was actually happening. right there. So perfect. So you see, with Pico, you can analyze. You've got 64 frames. As you can see, I'm actually in 46 of 64 because it's super fast. So, but I can see 64 captures, which is, you're analyzing a sensor. You want to see drops. You have to do it like this. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible to see anything. So, PicoScope, no problem. We can see the signal. The signal, now we know that we are working good and nothing is wrong with it. If I go over to the other uh, cable, let's do that too. So let me go back into normal mode. We're going to put this into 12 volts or whatever, right? And I'm going to move just the cable here into the other signal or the other wire, which is now the yellow with the brown. Again, we have nothing in there. Now let's go and do the same thing. We're going to keep the same speed. We're going to use the AC coupling, and let's drop this voltage low to see if we see anything, right? I'm trying to put it on the top. Nothing is going on in there. So nothing. If it would be any signal in here, this will be picking it up. So this is just a ground. I don't see anything else in here. So this signal is, sorry for the glare, guys. I know the shop has a lot of light and windows, but I think for the information, you can see what I'm doing well. I don't have to start a screen capture or anything. I think this is very good information. But yeah, so you can see it, that's just a ground. And you will see when I'm going on both wires and showing you how you test this, because I mean you have to make sure that you are in a good ground and a good ground for the sensor. I already know that this is good because by doing this same test and with the scanner, you can see when using the magnet, you can see a speed and rotation going reverse or forward. So this is very good test. All right, let me now use the ATS oscilloscope and see if it is can read it or not. I'll be right back. All right, guys, again, I got the 8-channel ATS oscilloscope connected now to the same signal. We don't have now to check the ground because we know that we got nothing in there, and we are in the signal again on the yellow with the black uh, striped. I'm using the power probe if they want to know, or you guys want to know, what is that? Those are the power probes. Piercing. I like them because they got a little bit of insulation and they grab really good. But just always when you use them, make sure they're nice and tight. They're sometimes a little aggressive. If you want to use the Pomona, these are actually really good as well. You can see they're very nice and fine. Those are good. So, okay, so the way you want to use, again, it's the same thing. In this oscilloscope, we have not as much as, I don't know, settings that we can change as in Pico, but we do can put them in AC coupling. I will say recording time 1 millisecond because this is, remember, half a microsecond or so. So I did a fast capture. You can see we got 1 1 1 1. So the signal is there. So 1 millisecond is actually good. The position 40%, that is not a problem. And then the slow falling, this is for the trigger. So we're going to use, I have all the channels on. We can turn all the rest of the channels off like that. It's better for the oscilloscope. And you can actually do this with just 4 channel. Like that is going to give more resolution for the oscilloscope. And make sure to use, because let's say if I use the deep recording, I want to show you what we can see. See, when it stops, it's very a lot of hash. If we do a fast recording, when I stop it, you see, boom. So let's try again the, well, actually, let's look like it's happening. So let me, it was probably buffer. Let me do it again. Deep recording is working, so we can see it in there. So this is not bad. Let's do, because this is live data, so you can see that indeed we have changes on the signal. So this is a very capable oscilloscope, even though it doesn't have the same memory as a picoscope. I do like this oscilloscope a lot more, and even than the picoscope, because of the reason there is a roll. This is not like picoscope that you have like one, two, three different screens. This is one screen where you can see it. That's why it's so important what time, how long are you recording. Like I only have 1 millisecond. So in this case, let's bring this up to 8 milliseconds. Let's do it again. See, I don't know why, maybe because right now I'm only on one channel and it gets all the hash. I'm trying to let the buffer recover, see if it does it. Like when we're doing in a fast capture, see it's right there and it does it immediately. I don't know why it turns all the channels again on, but it doesn't matter. So if we use this, it doesn't do it on deep recording. So let me bring it down to, again, to one. I'm just doing some tests to see if we make the screen, see when it's in there, it's actually recording. Let's change this to 2 seconds or 2 milliseconds. Still does it good. 3 milliseconds. So it is definitely the buffer. You see what I mean? 5 milliseconds, or well, actually, it went from 4 to 8. When I go to 8, oh no, it's still doing the same. Because yeah, we can see what I'm trying to get is that information, and then stop it in there, like right there. Perfect. So just play, let the, because this is the buffer, and this is why having a 1 megahertz oscilloscope can limit your capture and your ability to see a waveform. Again, and it's not the case in here. We are being able to see it. I do like this a lot because I can take the pen hand and then move this down and then do a zoom window. Oops, sorry, I didn't click on zoom window. And we can go there. Let's just click on one event. And we can see here, we can do, if we turn all this over and then we can go and process the data, we can smooth the data a little bit. Mm, Maybe too much, right? But that's another thing I don't like about this oscilloscope. Okay, now I smooth the data, there is no going back, at least that I know of. So right now, everything is being processed. The only way that I can see or revert this, it will be to record the data again. One thing I don't like, don't change. So but it's already changed, so you cannot go back. So again, if ATS company is seeing this, please do that. Go back. See if we can save it, because otherwise, sometimes you just miss the data. So when you're working with this oscilloscope, make sure that before you do any changes on the waveform, if you need it, save it first. Then you can do whatever you want, and you're doing the changes in there. But the file is already saved in your computer. All right. So let's do it again. So let's just start. You see, it's doing it again. Let me stop that because it's not going to work. Um, See, I have to like almost do this, like go into fast capture, and now it works. All right, so I'm just going in there. We're gonna stop this, and then again we can do the pen hand. Again, every oscilloscope is very different than the other one, and they both have. I mean, this oscilloscope is very capable. I like it. You can see the signal. You can see that you got uh, a problem or not. On here, it's not as clean as the PicoScope, that you can actually do a filter and then move the filter up and down and select to where you want it. I forgot to mention that in the other one I have like 40 kilohertz filter, but you can go into 3 megahertz up to 1 kilohertz or 1 hertz. So it all depends on, again, the time base and everything you're doing in PicoScope, and that's what I like, because there's a lot of hash in here. But do you really need to go into much of a detail when you're working on a signal like this? Maybe not, right? So all you want to see is response. Is there everything good there? Do you have the right voltage? So analysis can definitely be performed with this oscilloscope. Let me just take the pen hand and then go over to where we're not creating a speed. And then, this is nice about this because we can just go zoom out and then take the zoom window and just go here. And then this is what we will be doing an analysis. And this is where there's no signal. This is just the diagnostic sending that one. All right, so I'm going to stop now the recording. So again, good. ATS, 8-channel oscilloscope, able to see. It is the same as the PicoScope? No, I would rather take the signal and analysis on a PicoScope, and I can go back to the PicoScope because I saved that signal, and let's do this. 14 minutes. It always goes very quick when you're having fun. So I can open that waveform that I just saved. Again, the nice thing about that is everything is nice and saved. So you see how difference of the signal from there to here, right? Um, is it bad? No. So let's zoom out a little bit so we can see kind of like almost on the same size, but as you can see, this is very glitchy. That is not glitchy. And again, if I go here and go over to displays, not display here. So I'm using a 50 kilohertz filter, and that is why the signal looks so good. But again, you can definitely see where the signal here, so not a problem. All right, so let me set the Snap-on one now and see if Snap-on can see the signal or not. So again, guys, I'll be right back. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, got now doing the test with the Snap-on, so let's get it connected. I should have done this before I started the video because I now need to stop it. I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, I got the scanner connected to USB-C, whatever, to the screen, so we can see that there. So all I did it was selected the vehicle as a 2006 330, and then we're going to go over to the guided component test. In here, I can select ABS, no, not the ABS module. Let's go over to wheel speed sensors. I want you to see this because this is good about a Snap-on. I can tell you how to connect, the yellow to the signal, and then black to a known good ground, which we are connected. It tells you here that we have in the right rear a yellow brown and says sensor signal, and then yellow black voltage. And this is where we are in a problem because okay, let's see, we are in yellow black, and that's when we know that we got the signal. So if we follow what they say here, you will be connected over to the yellow brown, and that doesn't have the signal. So make sure that you understand it's the yellow black. So if I click in the meter, that will open the meter, and I will be using this also to go over to the oscilloscope to see if we have any difference. So this is now automatically set up to see the signal. Can we see the signal? We'll see in a second. I don't see not even, okay, with voltage, we need to change it because we know for sure that this is in 2 volts and this is in 12 volts. So this is not going to work. So we need to change the settings in here. So we're going to go over to AC coupling. Now we are in there, 2 volts. We can go over to 1 volt. And then we're going to change the time because we know that the time, this is no good. So we're going to go over to 500 microseconds. That's what we had on the other one too, right? Um, let's get, if we get the um, trigger, see if we see anything. I don't see absolutely nothing. Again, let's make sure that this is nice and tight. So let me just make sure that is tight. Well, the connection is nice and tight. We don't see anything in here. I'm going to use the same process. I don't see absolutely nothing in here. So, nope, we cannot see anything with here. We are in the same settings, 1 volt, coupling AC, 500 microseconds, and we're putting the trigger. Oh, actually it is. It is there. So disregard what I said. The trigger was not in the correct position. So it looks like we might be able to change this to a 1 millisecond. Remember, on the snap, you want to zoom in and then you can zoom out. But let's say if we do this in 500 microseconds, because if you want to now see the signal, if we move this trigger over to here, then will see, we will be able to see the signal more. Are we producing the signal? Yes, we are. So remember, you need to work out with your scopes to see if you can see or not signal. So the thing with this is it's so fast signal. Like right now we can see it. So if I stop this now, see I'm doing it as fast as I can, and now I'm going to zoom out. This is the way again Snap-on does it. And let's try to zoom in a little more out. We see something in here. Let's, before I call it that we cannot see, let's try to zoom in into that. No, that's just noise. So the problem that we have now with this scope is that the buffer is so small that if we try to capture that in 500 microseconds, by the time you click on close, there's no signals in here. So you can analyze anything. So let's go outside here. I'm going to, we can see the signal, but we can do no analysis on it because as we can see, the signal is there. Let's move the trigger. Oh, this is play. 1 second, guys. I hit the wrong button. So we can see the signal in there. If I stop it now, because it's weird, because we got the signal, so it should be showing something. So let's try one more time. We can see the signal goes up to like 0.2. Now we got exactly the same thing, so it's nothing to analyze. It didn't record anything. Hopefully you guys can see I'm going into different, size or positions and nothing. There's nothing to see there. So definitely this scope is not capable, not on meter. So let's go out of here. We're not going to use component tests. We're going to go over to the scope multimeter, lab scope, volts DC. Now we're going to have to reset this whole thing again. One more time, no, right there, we were where we needed. So AC coupling. We're going to lower the voltage to 1 volt. The trigger level is out of range. Please adjust. Okay, yeah, we know that will be needed to be adjusted. So we got to grab that and put it somewhere here. And then too much. So let's do half a second. Let's bring this up. And we know that we need to lower this so the signal is there. And again, I can take the magnet and I can make now that signal go high. Let's stop this and see if we can see anything. And now we're zooming out. We might be able to see it if we are in not in guided component test, because that might be, yes, that might be using a different way of triggering and recording the buffer. So yes, we can see the signal too. And honestly, it's a little cleaner than using AS wave, or sorry, not AS wave, ATS oscilloscope. Um, hmm, I like to see, yeah, we can move it in here. Try to catch another capture. Let's zoom out more and capture another glitch, because that's all we can see, the glitches, right? But I was going to say that we cannot, and definitely we can see it. The buffer is really small. You can see that the captures are, I mean, even at maximum, all we see is 2 times, and I was probably touching it, I don't know, maybe 8 times. So this is definitely a less capable oscilloscope. You can definitely see the signal. You will not be able to analyze the signal. There is another way you can use peak detect. The problem with peak detect, it will be only one screen. So going back to here, if I click record, I want you to see how fast this is already being, like you see, it's instantly. That's why you cannot capture anything, because this is too fast. So if I change this to 5 milliseconds, I want you to see, still, it's very slow, 10 milliseconds. You see now this is recording, 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 recording. So that's the problem with this buffer. 5 milliseconds is instantly. So that's the problem. You will not have enough data to analyze where you're looking for a glitch or a problem on a signal as fast as this one. This is realistically not a fast signal. It's too fast for this oscilloscope. So no, I would not recommend to use the snap-on scope to see the signal because you will not be able to really analyze ATS oscilloscope better. PicoScope, without a doubt, the best of all three. So I hope that you guys find this video entertaining and also educative because this is what I want to show why you need to have a good oscilloscope. If you're working in European vehicles, you want to have a picoscope. Realistically, that is the best scope you can use for this. ATS is still really good. I like it. It's an 8-channel oscilloscope. You don't need to put attenuator because they're already built inside the oscilloscope, so you can have up to 500 volts in each channel. A little limited because it's a shared ground, so you have to be careful when you're doing tests with the ATS scope because it's a shared ground into all the channels. The PicoScope is floating ground, so each channel is separate completely from the other channel. So again, my recommendation will be 100% PicoScope, but as you can see, I have them all. The reason I have the snap-on scope is because that's what I came with the Zeus Plus. I will really, well, I was hoping that Snap-on with a new tool like this would have improved the oscilloscope. Realistically, they didn't. All they do was moving the scope from being here and now put them in outside. The specs on this oscilloscope is the same that you will have on the Barus Pro 12 years ago. And that's why, a company like Snap-on that is making so much money with us technicians should have improved a tool and give us an oscilloscope like PicoScope. I mean, this is like $14,000 tool. Why are they giving you $100 oscilloscope with it? I have no idea. But again, that's why I'm trying to steer the technicians to spending money the correct way. Snap-on tools, they do have a lot of good things, and that's why I have it. I use it. I bought it when I was a younger tech, and I've been moving from the Barrows to this Barrows Edge, and then the Zeus, and then Zeus Edge, and then now this one. Uh, I just have it. But realistically, you can definitely get better by spending your money in different tools like a PicoScope and order scanners, or even a user scanners from a Snap-on that you can use the shop stream and analyze the pits like I show in other videos. But again, I don't want to make this video too long. I hope that you like the content. Please leave me comments, see what you guys would like to see more. And I'm trying to share as much as knowledge of the tests that I do. Sometimes it's limited time. Sometimes we're really busy in the shop and I cannot really record much, but I try always to share, especially when I see signals like this fast and things that can throw you off and you cannot find it. This is how you do it. All right, hopefully this is a good information. Don't forget to subscribe and please leave me your comments. Talk to you later. Bye bye.